Hey y'all, I want to come on real quick, and I know I always say real quick, but I am gonna make this one right here quick. Um, in a couple of my videos, I don't know if it's the seated or the standing and the stretching videos, I've said a couple of times, it could have been in the one with the knee pain too, but I've asked us, to slow down and to, get some of the basics back in. And I'm gonna tell y'all this now. I've been in federal court all day, and I'm gonna tell you no lie. It's almost 5. I left here at I had to meet the lawyer at 9:15. So I think I left here about right at 9 o'clock. I was to leave at 8:30, 8:45. When I got ready to get in my car, I thought I had packed up everything. And I realized when I got in my car, I was like, okay, I'm missing some papers. So I went back in my house. I looked for these papers, and I'm quite sure I know where I put them. But it probably took me about 5 minutes to realize I had just lost those papers, and I had them 2 days ago. So today is Friday. I had them Wednesday. So I didn't have these papers that I needed going down to the federal courthouse. But anyway, and just 10 minutes ago, I had an aha moment. And the aha moment was I had did a screenshot of this particular paperwork that I needed. So anyway, slowing down. That's where I'm going. So when I ask you guys to slow down and, we're going to ramp things up, there's just some things that we have to just realize in our life when we're out here rushing, to do this and do that. We got to get some basic stuff, some basic things in order. And sometimes with the hustle and bustle of life, you'll tend to forget things. And it's normal. But if you slow down, just like I said, just from my experience today, I had to get back home and really think about, because it was still on my mind. I'm like, where in the world could I have misplaced those papers? Because y'all, when I tell y'all, it's a lot of things going on inside the home, outside the home, in the mind. So that paperwork was really frustrating me. And I just had to find it. So even when I came home, and that was what, 8 hours ago, 9 hours ago, and I wasn't in court that long. I was in court all morning, but then it turned into some other things, after that. But either way, it was still on my mind. And what I had to do, I had to slow it down, y'all. I had to slow it all the way down. So we're going to wrap things up here. We're working out. We are. But I want y'all to really, really take a pause, slow down. It's hard for me to teach. It's hard for me to teach when we don't have basics. Now, some of y'all have worked with me in the past, but for the people who hadn't worked with me, I got to show them. So and then even so, if you have worked with me, maybe something unchanged. I don't know. But for the most part, the basics aren't not going to change. And the basics are, we got to appreciate the fact that sometimes when we tell ourselves, like I'm asking you guys to, to stretch and to slow down, we really have to get our bodies and our mind, because it starts in the mind. Everything starts in the mind, to a place that we appreciate stretching. We take it for granted. Now, I've always done it. I can't say I've always just really liked doing it because I was, hardcore and we like to go, go, go. But anyway, we have to appreciate the stretching and its movement. I don't want you to tell yourself that stretching ain't nothing, because it is. And actually, it's the most important part of your physical activity, to believe it or not. But anyway, like I said, I want to make that quick. We're going to ramp it up. But I'm quite sure I got people out there, and I really thank y'all for supporting me here, whoever is out there. And I'm quite sure there are people out there that don't know the basics. And then I'm going to say this too. You could be working out for 20 years with somebody or without somebody, and you still don't know the basics. If I ask you what set stance is, even the most athletic person probably couldn't tell you what set stance is. And I'm not going to get into that. But just know, I've trained people, I can tell them, okay, I want you to squat. I want you to squat, you know, give me a basic squat. I can't tell you how many times, you know, a person will ask me that I'm training, how to do it. And I'll teach them. Because one thing about me, I don't want for you to have to come to me always. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind you coming to me, but I'm actually trying to help you to help yourself. But anyway, with this, what I'm saying right now, let's just stop. Let's take a pause. Let's appreciate. Let's not tell our things, these things that they ain't right. I mean, you know, they're not right. Movement is movement. It doesn't have to be hardcore all the time, and it doesn't have to be, you know, too slow, but we have to get to some basics. So I just challenge everybody, you know, not to tell yourself that stretching is not exercise, because it is. It's all about movement, guys. And like I said, we're going to ramp it up here. And I just want to thank y'all for, you know, just taking the time out to listen to me. It gives me great pleasure, and I pray that y'all are finding, you know, and value in what I'm saying. And if you do, please share it. Hit that notification bell too, because what I am finding too is a lot of people that I run into, because I don't meet any strangers, you know, I really don't. But anyway, I'll ask them, you know, hit the notification bell, and a lot of times they'll go into YouTube. I'm talking about YouTube right now. I'm sorry. I'm talking about YouTube. I'll ask them to go to YouTube, and a lot of times they have to sign in. Slow down. Sign in. I pray it bless you. You know, it'll bless you, but that's where I'm going here. You know, the prayer is, you know, if I can help someone, even if it's just one. So anyway, we're going to get back to some basics, because that's just what it is. A strong foundation has to start with some basic core, you know, principles, and, you know, we'll all get there. So mindset, change how you're saying things, and, you know, watch something different. Watch something different. But anyway, thank you guys once again, and God bless you, and be well until the next video.